We need his glory for sure. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Songbook of Gospel. I am Simone Malone, one of your most trusted and respected voices. I'm not going to waste any time. I want to get into this wonderful spotlight today because it is an honor and what a pleasure it is to be able to spotlight my new marketing person. I would say my new graphic designer who is doing a phenomenal job at certainly putting my information out there on social media and just making Simone Malone look better graphically. I want to welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls everywhere, I want to welcome the Mind Master himself. He'll tell you all about that. MindMasterMarketing.com. You could definitely go there now. I want to welcome NyAcies Divine to the Songbook of Gospel. Say good morning to everybody because you got up kind of early, my brother. Say good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Simone. How are you today?
I'm feeling good. I'm so delighted that you were able to join us today. We don't get an opportunity to do these type of exclusive interviews with a man like yourself that's so busy working to make sure that people like me look great graphically.
Thank you. Thank you.
So NyAcies, before we even get into the meat of this interview and conversation, I want you to tell everybody a little bit about where you were born and raised from, and then we're going to take it from there.
I was born in Chicago, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
I come from a single-parent home. I was raised by my father, who was a very hard worker when I was younger. So workaholic is pretty much fluent in my family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. So did you grow up in the south side of Chicago or what?
I grew up in the south side of Chicago. Well, I actually grew up in Memphis, Tennessee,
okay,
and Chicago.
Okay.
So, but I was born and mainly raised in Chicago, but traveled between Memphis and Tennessee to stay with grandparents and my father. Being a single parent, I guess he couldn't really handle it all. So.
Okay.
He got a little help from the family.
That's great. So listen, you left Chicago. At what age did you leave Chicago?
Left Chicago, going to Detroit,
mm-hmm.
and back and forth up until I was about 7 years old. And then that's when started going to Memphis up until about maybe 9 or 10, and then moved to Detroit and then back to Chicago, and kind of jumped around a lot
mm-hmm.
as a child.
So how did you end up on the West Coast?
How did I end up on the West Coast? Well, my children is here on the West Coast, and I wanted to be closer to my children.
Right.
So the ultimate decision was to move here.
Great. Now let's talk a little bit about this path before we even get in, because I want my listeners and viewers, and go ahead and say hello again. Everybody can see me, but they can hear your handsome voice. Say hello to everybody that's watching the live video as well. Go ahead.
Hello, Radio World. You tuned in to Simone Malone and NyAcies Divine.
Great. Absolutely, my brother. NyAcies, I want people to get an understanding because they need to understand your path, because it's important when I have people on my show, as you know from listening in, being a dedicated listener and support, that I ask questions to help people understand your journey, because there's a journey to get to where you are in your life, and everybody has a journey and everybody has a story. So you decided to go back to, you decided to come to California, and that's where you are actually now. And you got up really early, and I thank you so much for joining us from California. So let's talk about your career as a journey, because the graphic design and marketing was something that you really, from talking with you off the radio, having conversations and pouring into each other, it was something that you really did not decide to go into as a career. It was just, I think you mentioned to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were doing different things and you have other talents and skills as well. And you said, well, to save some costs, you can learn this skill and do it yourself. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
So can you tell us a little bit about what you did prior to developing the expertise, because that's what it is that you have now, and talk a little bit about how you got to this point.
Well, my main thing that I've always been really good at, Simone, was sales. Sales. I've always started at a very young age. I remember when I first sold my first few items. My father used to do construction work, and they would saw off the 2x4s and leave the end pieces and throw them on the ground to throw them away later.
Wow.
So what I used to do as a little kid, I would pick them up and nail them together and make sculptures and sit them out in front of my father's building and sell them.
Uh-huh.
And I would sell a few of them for like $5 and $10. Now, mind you, this is just junk wood, but I was able to sell it, and not because I made the wood look so great by putting it together, but because I was able to talk the passerbyers into purchasing art sculptures from a 5-year-old, from a 6-year-old.
Wow.
As time went on, I got a little older and began to, have a great appreciation for music.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much where it really started with the music, because I had of course, a new artist budget, which was $0.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I had a big dream, and I really wanted to get my music out of there. But I couldn't afford to pay for the marketing, the graphic design, the advertising, like the major artists that I wanted to compete with.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to be innovative, and I had to come up with great ideas that would allow me to look like I was spending $1 million or a $500,000 marketing budget,
right,
when I only had maybe $10, $15, $25 to spend,
wow,
or just a very small budget.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you one example.
Sure.
When I started creating my music, I started with one song, and I would take that one song and I would burn it to disc. And I would just start walking, and I would start selling that one song. It's my very first song. And I would walk up and down the street, and I would sell that one song all day long.
Mm.
But what I realized was that if I was to work a regular job,
Mm-hmm.
they would pay me about maybe $8 an hour at the time. $7 an hour, I believe that was minimum wage at the time.
Right.
But I was able to go out, and I said, okay, if I sold 25 CDs at just $5 per CD,
Mm-hmm.
if I did that in 8 hours, I would actually make $125.
That's
So
correct.
I would make more selling these CDs in 8 hours if I was to just work a regular job and punch a clock.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my mindset. So I went out with that mindset, and what do you know, it worked. Now, once I saw that it worked, I began to have to create even better ways to make people want to buy the CD.
Exactly.
So, and back then, hip-hop started getting kind of like not a good name. So, people, well, if it's hip-hop, if it's rap, I don't want it. Now,
Right.
even though my music was positive and I talked about, positive things,
Mm-hmm.
it was still hip-hop to people. And hip-hop was really creating a bad image. So what I thought to myself was, look, this is what I do. I'm doing very good. Now, by the way, I ended up over 5 to 10 years distributing over 250,000 units that way.
Wow.
So I sold a lot of music. Now, but it got to the point where, okay, I got tired of walking around and going one person to one person to one person at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to pull everybody together and sell to everybody at one time. So
Right.
I thought of the idea of creating the first hip-hop musical, and it was called The Infinite Dreamer back in 2007.
Wow.
And what I created was an entire brand around this musical. So I had the album. I was able to have a musical ticket. Now, I created the CD and called it a snippet ticket. While I would make the CD itself a ticket, I even sold commercial space on my CD.
Wow.
My first customer was a local UPS store. And I believe they paid $5,000 for that first commercial space.
Mm-hmm.
And I made them a commercial, and then I would put that in between my songs.
Right.
And then I designed the CD cover like a ticket. So it was called a snippet ticket.
Wow.
Now that helped me sell tons of tickets. Now I went from selling a $5 CD
Right.
to selling a $35, $40 musical ticket.
Mm.
And then when they got to my show, all they heard was my music, and then, of course, dialogue from the play itself. And it ended up growing into a huge play, and we can talk about that later if you like.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to get 500 to 1,000 to 2,000 people in the room one time, listen to all the songs that I wanted them to listen to, and then after the event was over, Guess what they all did?
What?
They all asked, well, where can we purchase your music? Right here.
That's great.
So that right there, I believe that moment was the moment that let me know I could sell anything.
Yeah. That is an amazing story, and thank you for sharing that, because the listeners needed to know that. They need to know that journey that got you to that point. And from that, you started, because you were good at selling, which is obviously you have the gift and ability to do that. You have developed the skill and the ability to be the type of mind master that you are with graphic designing. Is that correct?
Correct. Now, let me explain how that happened.
Yeah, please do.
By walking up to individuals on the street, you get to meet different personalities.
Right.
Now, one thing that was smart about me, I wasn't like the typical artist, back in that day. I actually carried headphones around, and what I did was I created different songs for different age groups.
Right.
So when I would walk up to person, I would have 16 songs on one CD. So when I would walk up to person, depending on how old they were, would determine what song I would play for them. So, and I would always have at least 2 to 3 songs that I know that age group would like. So I would play the song. Oh, okay, I like that. Let me hear another one. Okay, I already have my other one in my head, so I skip around to the 3 that I know that they're going to like. And I learned my audience. I learned what people like. I learned what people don't like. I learned how to fill out people. I learned how to deal with adverse people that, were rude when they told me no. I also learned that even though I may have received in one day 100 no's, the only yeses that really mattered was the 25 that made me the $125 that I was aiming for.
Yeah.
That morning when I set out. So the no's didn't matter. The only thing that mattered was the 25 yeses.
And those 25 yeses has gotten you to what you are doing now. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So NyAcies, I need to understand, how did you come about this whole idea of being the mind master and the marketing magician that you are?
Well, designing for myself, marketing for myself,
right.
I did so well, and I was so successful on so many levels
right.
that people would take notice, and they would say, wow, I like that. Can you do that for me?
Right.
Let's say the first website that I designed was for an insurance company.
Okay.
Well-known insurance company. I won't mention their name, but
right.
They were based out of Chicago, and she saw my website. And my artist website, I was going around selling my CDs. She said, I really like your website. I've been needing a website. What would you charge me for a website?
Right.
Now, innocent me, I was like, I just threw out her number. She said, okay, yeah, sure, fine. So I went in, I did the website. It only took me maybe 3 hours to do this website. Maybe over $700 for this website. And I was blown away.
Wow.
And that's how it started. Everybody just asking me, how did you, well, you did this so well for yourself, can you do it for me? Yes, I can.
Right. You know, I have to say, one of the reasons why I'm spotlighting you, this was my entire idea, is because you work for me. And we have the opportunity of connecting. I think it's been about 3 months now. And, you're hired for me, and you do a marvelous job. And there have been, I have to say this, I have to give credit to all my previous graphic people. I'm not knocking any graphic designers out there. But I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, NyAcies, because this is about you today, that you have to have a graphic designer or marketing firm or marketing individual or individuals that understands who you are and fits with your vision of what you are trying to do as a goal in your career. Do you agree?
I do agree. If you're working with someone, I was fortunate because I started off designing for myself. So I already knew what I needed. I knew what I wanted. I knew the image that I wanted to portray. But when you're working with someone else, it is very important that you're able to convey over to that individual your vision, your ideas, and allow them to turn what you desire for your path to be into your success story as it relates to your graphics design and your marketing.
And what I admire and respect about that's what you did with me prior to any graphic person that has done work for me. It's not just doing a flyer, it's the conversations, it's the ideas that you have presented to me, because you said, Simone, that smile is worth branding. And I said, okay, what can you do? And we took it from there. But can you just share a little bit why you decided to take on my projects, and then we're going to get right back into what we're talking about with the business aspect and how people can become a part of what you're doing and the packages that you're offering. But can you just share to my audience why you chose? I know I chose you, but why you could have been like, okay, let me just do this one flyer for him. But why you chose to talk with me about my career and talk to me about the ideas that you had to enhance what I'm already doing.
Okay, so I want you to remember how I first heard about you. It was through a chef.
Okay.
And you had done a promo for her.
Okay.
And I was blown away by this promo. I was like, wow, do you hear this voice? So then I had already saw your picture.
Right.
Now, I didn't really investigate into it, but I saw it. And then guess what? I saw it again. And I saw it again. And I saw it again, and I went to other people's sites, and I'm constantly seeing your picture pop up. So, with a smile like that, you have to ask, okay, who is this guy, and what is he talking about? What is he doing? I'm seeing him everywhere.
Oh, wow.
So who is he? So I did a little digging, a little research, which I love to do research, and that's when I found out exactly what it is that you do. And I saw how effective you were at getting your imagery out there.
Thank you.
And I was like, wow, with the right concepts and the right marketing, which, again, like you said earlier in the conversation, your graphics people were great. They are some really great designers. They, by far. I think what sets me aside from general graphic designers is I have that passion again for selling, and I know how to sell, and I also study science. So I kind of mixed a little bit of that history of selling along with the science with the marketing capabilities and the ability to create and design. Wow. So when I saw yours, I just saw what I can add to your imagery that can help it pop and stand out. And sometimes when I see other people's ads, not that I'm the best designer, but I can see some flaws or where things can be upgraded or just done a little better.
Right.
So, I saw those minor, there wasn't flaws, but it was just things that didn't stand out to me that should stand out.
Right.
For example, your pictures just, they were sharp, and you take sharp pictures. So I felt like you should look like $1 billion, not $1 million. $1 million is just not enough. You need to look like $1 billion. So, I put in my pitch, and I went to work. And thank you, it worked out. And the marketing material, it looks wonderful right now, and I believe that you're receiving rave reviews on your market.
Absolutely. I wanted to say that, and I want to say thank you humbly, because since you've taken over the position and doing what you do, you amaze me. I have gotten more business, and not only that, I've gotten feedback from some of my tough critics. One is my lawyer and a couple of my close friends. So you always have to have people look at your stuff, and I've got some feedback from some people that says, I'm hating on you because you got that done and didn't use me. But the thing is that I thank you, and that you understand where Simone Malone is coming from. This is what it is in this season for now, and I am here to stick with you, and I thank you because the best is yet to come. I already know that.
Can I add something?
Go right ahead.
Just before we leave this topic, I also want to say this, and you and I kind of spoke about this, I believe yesterday or a few days ago. Now, when I saw you, you already had marketing material. You also had great pictures.
Right.
Another thing about you, Simone, is you have the verbiage. You're good at what you do. So you are already a wordsmith. So it comes easy to you, natural to you, to just jot down your ideas.
Right.
Now, not everyone has that.
Right.
And when you don't have that, you definitely need to find a guy like Simone and match him with a guy like me.
That's right. Two of us together, we can knock him out.
I'm saying that to say that, as I told you the other day, now when I meet new clients
Right.
and I get them started, they are nowhere near as advanced as you are.
Well, thank you.
You came already, to the table with a lot of information, a lot of great pictures. So it was very easy for me to just get right on and just take off with your stuff.
Thank you.
Now, that's a great skeleton for people to follow.
Right.
The more you already have in place for the person that you are hiring to do your marketing, the easier it will be for them to make you a success.
That's a very key point. Can you say that again so people can understand that?
The easier you make it for your marketing person by providing them the information, the pictures, the data that they need, if you already have that stuff in place and you're able to present that to them in that timely manner, you make it easier for that marketing person to make your business a success.
Wow, that is incredible. So that ties into what you are doing. I know you have contracts with people. You're offering so many deals, and I want to talk about what ideas you have, more ideas and ideas and more ideas that you have for people that have a small business with a small budget but a big heart.
It's the first thing I would say is identify your market. Identify your market. Do some research. When I first came across you, Simone, before I could give you a call, I had to go and I had to know about you. Yeah. I had to go and do some research on you. And it's not difficult. Even with some of the people that you work with, and you wanted me to design and include them in your flyers.
Right.
Well, I had to go and do some research on them.
And you did.
Kind of shocked you
yes, it
times.
Did.
But it also made for a better design and better marketing.
That's I have to give you the applause on that, because every time that you do something for me, NyAcies, I am blown away because you have done your research. Like, I'll give you an idea and say, can you do this? And I'll leave it to you with your expertise. But when you send it to me, I'm blown away, like, wow, I didn't think he would come out with this. Like, I'm thinking it would be this way. And you have done your research. How many graphic people do I know, or marketing people that I know personally, do research on an individual? Not many.
Right. So definitely do your homework. Do your homework and be different. Don't be afraid to think outside the box and take chances. Be different. Stand out. Dress differently. Use bright colors. Form strategic alliances with other businesses. Kind of like we are a great example, because you and I have, we're learning how to work with one another. And I work for you, but at the same time, you like my work so much. Here you are allowing me on your radio show.
Yes.
So that's a relationship that benefits the both of us. Form strategic alliances with other businesses. Look for businesses that reach your target market and consider ways you can work together, whether you actively market each other's services or not, or just team up to jointly work on a particular client, which you and I have also had some talks about working together for promos.
Right.
So you never know what can come out of these strategic alliances and how they can extend your reach and firm up your bottom line.
That's correct. So NyAcies Divine, the mind master himself, the marketing magician, my friend, my brother. Talk to the people out there, these artists who I've talked to you about, some of these artists that's going to use your services. Talk to these pastors. Talk to these individuals that have books and all kinds of great stuff, how you can help them. They're probably watching and listening and saying, I don't have a lot of money. No, they need to go to your website and look at the rates and the prices that you charge. You're very reasonable and you're on top of what you do. Talk to them and encourage them to use you for what they need to do.
Okay, well, what I offer, just so that everyone is clear, I offer small business packages.
Right.
Now, I'm able to break things up individually. For example, you may come and say, okay, well, I need a website. Well, then I would go in and say, okay, for the price of what you would normally pay for a website, I'm offering you a website, matching business cards, matching letterhead.
Wow.
Business cards are printed and designed, as well as the website. So I put a package deal together for every particular client that comes my way. I find out what their needs are, and I put packages together. I try to always combine things that I know would take the customer or the client over the top.
Yeah.
You know, and I recommend websites for everybody.
Yeah.
I always recommend websites. And something that a lot of people don't do, on your social media, send out all the information. Even your emails. When you send out an email, you should have all your taglines on your information on your email.
Yes.
Because you only have to do this one time, but guess what? Each time you send that email or that text, people are seeing that.
That's right.
And it's repetition. Repetition is the mother of selling.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Every time they open up their computer, they see us.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And, you know, I also offer services. I offer market research, which is very important. A lot of people don't really understand the importance of market research. Market research enables you to know and define your market. It enables you to know where your customers are, how to reach your customers without, a lot of people just, they may just put up, you know, their ads or their flyers and just hope that people will see them. But if you do direct marketing, you're able to identify your market, and that's very important. The next thing would be your marketing materials. Always keep your marketing materials up to date, whether it be your business cards, your flyers, your website, your Facebook page, your LinkedIn account. Keep everything up to date at all times, the best you can.
Right.
And one of my favorites, in-person networking. You're never going to get away from that. I believe this is the most important form of networking that exists. In-person networking, face-to-face. That's how you gain loyal customers. Have relationships with your customers. Talk to them. You know, if you build relationships, they begin to refer you when you do good work.
That's right. I know that's right.
That's based on conversation. There was a study done that proved that clients that had long-term conversations with the person that they employ, that they end up referring more work to that person than someone that they would just have hit and miss conversation with, like high and by type of conversation.
Right.
So that's proven. Social media, internet marketing, email marketing, all three of those are very important forms of marketing. Now, a flyer campaign through internet marketing is very effective, especially if you're constantly changing your look and your image, but at the same time maintaining your brand identity.
Right.
And that's kind of what you do, Simone. You hired me to deliver to you a new flyer every so often so that you maintain a fresh look.
Yes.
But at the same time, you're drilling your imagery into the minds of your listening fans.
Absolutely.
Which is very wise.
Absolutely.
Very key.
Absolutely, and I'm announcing it. My website is coming soon. We're going to be working on that, and I do have other little sites that I'm a part of, but I need to have that own personal website that you, of course, is going to handle and do for me, which is going to blow them away. I know it.
Exciting. That is very exciting.
So go ahead and share how they can contact you. They can go to your website, of course, mindmastermarketing.com. It's so colorful. It's a beautiful website. It's easy to get around. It's easy for me to make my payment. I love it. Which you will be paid tomorrow. You will be paid tomorrow. So go ahead and share that information, and just how, if somebody's looking for a logo real quick, I think you're offering some special deals right now because you're on my show. So go ahead and share that information. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you want to go to mindmastermarketing.com.
Yes.
On there, you will find great deals. You will find tons of information on marketing services that I offer. And again, I want to stress to the listener that we just don't design for you, but we include science, the history of what it takes to actually make the cell, even with the colors that we put together. And now I do have a few specials. Number one, we're giving away. Now, this is only for Simone Malone listeners. So you have to, when you contact me, you have to say, I heard you on the Simone Malone show.
Right, exactly.
That's the only way that you're going to get these deals. And I offer great deals, but none ever like this. So here we are. The first deal that I am offering to Simone Malone customers only.
Y'all better jump on it.
5-page website for just $100.
Wow. Unbelievable.
You cannot beat that. 5-page website for just $100. Now, if you want to add 5,000 business cards to that, just add another $100. 5-page website for $100, or 5-page website plus 5,000 business cards for $200.
Right.
That's a great deal, right?
You can't beat that. Now, what if somebody, because I have a lot of artists, because we're radio, a lot of artists, ministers that listen, and they may have need a flyer done for some event or for themselves. What are you doing for that?
For the Simone Malone listeners, and normally my prices for flyers start at about $125 to $150.
Right.
My websites are normally started around $500. So I just want everyone to know that this is a great deal, and you only get this because you're tuning in.
That's right.
To Simone Malone. So for flyers right now, we're going to give it away for $40.
$40, folks. Do you hear that? $40. You cannot beat that. You guys should be blowing his phone up as you watch this and listen to me. If you have a business, you're a pastor, evangelist, you have a concert happening, I'm telling you, the flyer that Mind Master does, NyAcies Divine, it will stand out. Every time that I post something, people like what you do. So jump on it, folks.
And we do magazines, we do business cards, we do posters, we do banners. I mean, there's no limit to the things that we do. So
awesome. So go ahead and encourage them again to go to your website, and I'm sure when they go to it, it's one of the most colorful websites I have ever been on for marketing.
Yes, it is mindmastermarketing.com. The number to reach me if you just want to call in, and the best number would be area code 916-546-3546. You're welcome to call that number. And I'm excited to get working, for anyone that has a passion for what they do.
Absolutely.
Has a passion for making their business succeed. I'm always excited, and I have tons of ideas.
Wonderful. I know that's right. He's working on something for me for August. Wait till you guys see it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're going to love on Simone Malone. So do you want to say hello to anybody special, your final words today?
Again, Simone, I just want to thank you for allowing me on your show.
Yes.
I want to give a special shout out to my wife, LaShonda. Her birthday is coming up.
Happy birthday, lady. God bless her.
Yeah, so that keeps me in the clear there. So, again, just thank you, Simone, for inviting me on the show. If anyone has questions, you're welcome to email me at mindmastermarketing@yahoo.com.
Yes.
And I will answer any questions that you have as it relates to marketing research, or just putting together your own marketing packages.
Wonderful.
Something that will help your business. And we do financing and monthly payment plans.
Oh, yeah.
If you're interested. So if you need a website and you need the full amount of marketing power that you can have created, but you're on a very tight budget and you can't afford to just shell out $5,000 and $10,000, we do financing in-house, and we do very affordable payment plans. So our goal ultimately is to help improve and grow the small business.
That's right.
You can live your dreams if you really go after it and you have that passion. You can do anything.
That's right.
And I'm living proof of that.
Awesome. And I tell people all the time, you have to invest in yourself. I invest in myself. People think Simone's got a lot of money. No, I don't have a lot of money. I just work smart. I work every day, 7 days a week, 2 jobs. And the thing is that when you invest in yourself, people can tell that. So I want you guys to contact NyAcies Divine, the Mind Master himself, the magician of graphic design. I am on a payment plan. Let me just say that I'm on a payment plan. I put him in my bill payments every month so that I can get the information that I need out to you. So you have to invest in yourself. Don't sugarcoat this thing. Stop saying, I don't have the money. Listen, stop buying, all those extra clothes that you don't really want, and invest in the quality of yourself for those clothes that you already have. Make it look good visually on paper and digitally design. And I promise you, it's going to enhance your business, because it certainly has enhanced mine. I get emails, I get telephone calls from people that say, who did that flyer? And I like to use your services. So contact him at mindmastermarketing.com. mindmastermarketing.com. You're going to check out his new promo that I'm going to be doing, and also email him as well. Listen, $40 to get a flyer done. You cannot beat that anywhere. If you don't jump on that, shame on you. Well, NyAcies, thank you so much, man, for joining me. I love you, and you will get your payment tomorrow before 6 o'clock p.m.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Have a great day. God bless you. We love you, man.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.